A big cancellation just allegedly went down for the Judgment Day, so we'll see what that's about. We'll also see what's going on with LA Knight, the Smackdown women's division, and more. Let's start things off with the big cancellation and storyline removal for the Judgment Day. So going back to a few weeks before the Money in the Bank event, the Judgment Day had a lot of stories going on all at the same time as usual. Rhea was busy with Natalya at the time, Dominic was busy with Cody Rhodes, and tensions were first starting to rise between Damian Priest and Finn Balor. But one of the smaller, but still very interesting storylines happening in the background for the Judgment Day was Finn Balor's sudden interest with JD McDonagh. JD was drafted over to Monday Night Raw as part of the 2023 WWE Draft. And almost immediately after he got drafted, reports and rumors ran rapid that JD was allegedly being internally discussed to be the newest and latest addition to the Judgment Day. New additions to factions are always something exciting to see, especially when everything turns out right and they fit in perfectly. So fans were excited to see what JD's addition to the group would look like, since he does have a lot of history and ties with Finn Balor. We're also quickly approaching the 1-year anniversary of the last time the Judgment Day added a new member into the fold. Their last new member addition was, of course, Dominic Mysterio in September 2022. So there was a lot of buzz behind this rumor move of JD joining the Judgment Day. And shortly after the rumors and reports came out, WWE appeared to be heavily teasing that direction for JD. He had an impressive showing during his Raw debut in a Battle Royal match. He even targeted Dolph Ziggler to make a statement. WWE was even airing a little video package and promo for JD, making it truly feel like he was getting that full new star treatment. On top of the big statement on Dolph Ziggler and the video packages, WWE immediately started teasing JD's involvement in the Judgment Day, just like the rumors had originally stated. That's when Finn Balor started being spotted in the background of JD's interviews, listening in and appearing like he was interested in recruiting JD for the Judgment Day. Then in the weeks that followed Finn spying on JD's interviews, we saw Finn and JD speaking backstage on Raw, with Finn in the sort of mentor role of giving JD some advice for how he should be like on the main roster. So there was a strong few weeks there of something appearing to cook up between JD McDonagh and Finn Balor. Fans had a ton of theories for seeing things like JD possibly taking Finn's spot in the Judgment Day and kicking him out. Other theories, like JD possibly coming to the rescue for Finn Balor in a time of desperation. Those were just some of the ideas floating around that fans had and thought we would see in the near future. But surprisingly enough, the story and teases of JD being involved somehow with Finn Balor and the Judgment Day just suddenly stopped. And even JD McDonagh himself has disappeared completely from Monday Night Raw and hasn't been seen since those few backstage run-ins with Finn Balor. Reports claim that the reason for JD's disappearance and removal from Raw over the last few weeks is because the JD, Finn Balor, and Judgment Day angle has allegedly been put on the back burner for the time being. And this really isn't that much of a shock. It's definitely something we've seen happen several times over the years. WWE will start teasing a storyline, maybe get a few weeks into it, but then they ultimately decide to discontinue it, and it leaves everything sort of hanging in the air. It looks like that's the fate that the JD McDonagh and Judgment Day storyline has suffered. But it doesn't mean that it's gone for good. There's definitely a high chance that WWE could revisit the angle in the future, especially since they did plant those seeds for something to happen there several weeks ago. There's no exact reported reason for why the story was canceled, but maybe it could be related to the fact that the Judgment Day is just way too busy right now and already has too much on their plate. You've got Rhea Ripley now battling Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez, Finn Balor continuing his personal feud with Seth Rollins, Damian Priest lurking with his Money in the Bank contract, and Dominic Mysterio in the early days of his reign as North American champion. So you can definitely argue that the Judgment Day is pretty loaded up and crowded right now in the storyline department. So maybe there's a shot that JD's story will come back into the spotlight once the Judgment Day cools off a bit with some of their ongoing storylines. But that's the latest on this story for now. JD's plans for the Judgment Day have been temporarily pulled for the time being, but who knows what the future holds. Despite the loss at Money in the Bank, LA Knight's movement in WWE is continuing to pick up momentum week after week. In the weeks following Money in the Bank, LA Knight segments have been putting up some crazy numbers for WWE on their social media platforms. You had the segment where he took out Hit Row, and then the following week, he had an onstage promo with the crowd really being into everything he was saying. Those two segments made it seem like LA Knight quietly turned babyface. He took out a heel faction and cut a babyface sounding promo. But despite all that, he's still being listed as a heel on Smackdown. Fans figured that maybe WWE would take advantage of his insane popularity over these next few weeks, and especially at Summerslam. But the latest reports are telling a slightly different story. According to the latest reports, LA Knight's main new push will allegedly take place and start after SummerSlam on August 5th. There's no word on what exactly that new push may include. Fans thought that maybe LA Knight would have a run-in with the United States title, but that obviously doesn't seem to be a possibility anymore. So it's hard to predict where they're going right now with LA Knight's usage and direction. Fans are getting a bit frustrated because WWE has had the opportunity since right around springtime to capitalize on LA Knight's popularity, but they keep delaying it. So we'll have to wait until after SummerSlam to see what those alleged plans for LA Knight are. In other LA Knight related news, he recently reposted a video of even AEW crowds chanting his name and saying a few of his catchphrases. So his popularity is even expanding into other organizations. A big match was just announced for the Smackdown women's division at SummerSlam. It'll be Bianca Belair, Charlotte Flair, and Asuka in a triple threat match for the WWE Women's Championship. But the big fan criticism that's going around online about this match and story is that some fans feel like the actual current champion, Asuka, almost feels like an afterthought in this feud despite her being the champion. All of the story developments, promo time, and matches have been heavily focused on Bianca and Charlotte, while Asuka's just there almost like in the background of everything, even though she is champion. So that's something that the fans have been having a discussion about. They say that the feud and story basically feels like Bianca Belair versus Charlotte Flair, featuring Asuka. So that is something that maybe has to be addressed in the last few shows before SummerSlam. Asuka needs to be put back front and center of the story, since she is the champion after all. So we'll see if anything changes there. But what are your thoughts on today's stories? Leave your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.